So you wrote a Dear Dallas letter to fans. It was, very heartfelt. How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular?
They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
And then one of the reasons that was given was that there was concern that, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not.
By now, you've all heard it. Luka Doncic to the Lakers. A lot of folks are sick.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life.
If you have a heart, check on your Mavericks fans. They're not doing so good.
I'm sad.
And I gotta say, whether you like Luka Doncic or not, reading this goodbye letter might get you choked up, especially after finding out that he just bought a $15 million home. People are saying he cried when he heard the news. And I mean, he really thought he was a Maverick for life. Everybody did. So the start of the letter, Luka says, Dear Dallas, 7 years ago, I came here as a teenager to pursue my dream of playing basketball at the highest level. I thought I spent my career here, and I wanted so badly to bring you a championship. The love and support you all have given me, it's more than I could have ever dreamed of. For a young kid from Slovenia coming to the U.S. for the first time, you made North Texas feel like home. In good times and bad times, from injuries to the NBA Finals, your support never changed. That one hits home because they just got to the finals. This was a complete blindside. Thank you for not only sharing my joy in our best moments, but also for lifting me up when I needed it most. To all the organizations I've worked with throughout the Dallas community, thank you for letting me contribute to your important work and join you in bringing light to those who need it. As I start the next chapter of my basketball journey, I'm leaving a city that will always feel like home away from home. Dallas is a special place, and Mavs fans are special fans. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, like I said, he had just dropped $15 million on a home in Dallas. The man was a lifer. Mentally, he was a lifer. Physically, he was a lifer. And yes, he got injured. And a lot of people are saying that the whole reason why this trade even happened was because he wasn't serious about his weight. He wasn't serious about his off-court activities. And I mean, there is some truth to that. If you look at, for example, Luka Doncic's height, he is 6'7". And they're saying right now he weighs 270 pounds. Now, to put that into perspective for you, Anthony Davis is about 6'10", 6'11", depending on the shoes he's wearing. He weighs about 253 to 255 pounds. Take that in. He's about 3 inches taller than Luka, and he weighs about 20 pounds less. That can't work. So, of course, it's going to lead to injuries. It's going to lead to him being sluggish on the court. It's going to lead to, just bad things. And I guess the Mavericks front office and the GM saw that this might be a bad future waiting to happen, sort of like a Zion Williamson or maybe even a Joel Embiid down the road. They didn't want to be stuck. That's one angle. But there's another running angle that's surfacing where people are thinking that this has to do with the new owners and the new GMs. I saw this on Reddit, and a lot of these conspiracy theories are usually like really far-fetched, but this one has little gravity to it. This comes from Kenshiro the Kid on Reddit, and he said, the conclusion I came to was that the new Mavericks owner was big shot in the casino industry, wanted an excuse to move their team if their plan to have a casino complex attached to their arena fell through. Timeline of the events, Luka deal happens and nukes the fan base, which it did.
How are we trading a franchise player? He went to the NBA Finals. He's supposed to have a statue.
Attendance craters. Team leaves in a few years saying they couldn't make it work out. Everything else seems like a distraction to hide this. It happened to my team, and it seems very similar. Now, obviously, this guy's jaded. Something happened to another team that he loved. It might have got moved. This always happens with smaller market teams. I remember being in Canada, the Vancouver Grizzlies. Up to now, they're making documentaries about it. That team's moved to Memphis. Sometimes the owners only care about dollars and cents. They don't care about the pride. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about the human side of basketball and the human side of these teams. More info will leak as time goes on. But I gotta say, man, gambling has kind of messed up the sports world in general. Like, I'm just thinking about this Scary Terry case that's pending right now. They're doing some investigation on him. And of course, Porter's brother last year. And I just feel like more of these things will just start to come out day after day. And there's already so much of it going on if you have any common sense. It's just now the things are starting to leak because there's so much gambling involved in sports. So I'm not saying that this guy on Reddit is 100% accurate, but now that we see the way gambling is kind of really dug deep into sports in so many different ways, it's kind of hard to say it's not a possibility. Of course, you've probably already seen the interview with the GM and Jason Kidd. Now, Nico Harrison said a lot in the press conference, but one thing that stuck out was this.
There's people that fit the culture and there's people that come in and add to the culture. And those are two distinct things. And I believe the people that were coming in are adding to the culture.
And those are two distinct things. So you're saying that Luka wasn't adding to the culture, which is insane to think of considering he's been the culture. He's like one of the best players, he's one of the best NBA players we have ever seen ever. Talking about adding to the culture, that doesn't really fit Nico, but it just makes you think that the morale in the organization was pretty low. Maybe they've been going back and forth with Luka for a really long time about his weight, about taking it seriously, and he wasn't. There's a famous clip going around about Luka with a beer in his hand, and then somebody from the front office is taking it from him, and he kind of like rolls his eyes. Like the way Nico handled this press conference, he kind of said some things that I don't agree with. Aside from Dirk Nowitzki, who's meant more to the Dallas Mavericks organization? Y'all let me know because nobody comes to mind. And of course, fans are livid because it's like Anthony Davis, who's already made of glass, always injured all the time. Yes, he's been playing good the last 2 seasons, but he's injured all the time. This is the first time Luka has really shown some serious injury concerns, and that makes you think that maybe this injury might be something chronic that we don't really know about. Again, time will tell on that. But Anthony Davis isn't that much better if that's the case. Yeah, he's a better defender, but he's definitely not as strong as an offensive threat as Luka Doncic is. And then when you hear about how like it wasn't even shopped around, this deal wasn't shopped around, they could have got way more for Luka, but he just kind of went straight to Rob Pelinka like, hey, take this guy off my hands. Give me anything, basically. I'm not saying Anthony Davis is anything, but you know what I mean? So it's a whole bunch of shit that makes you wonder like, yo, what's really going on under the hood of this thing? And a lot of things are going to leak. They're still leaking right now as we speak. Keep an eye open because more things will be coming out regarding this deal. This isn't the end of it. It would be a complete shame, though, if this whole thing really did happen because the casino deal fell through and they plan on moving the Mavericks. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think the Dallas Mavericks are moving. I really don't think that's happening. But what if? And I'm sitting here trying to think of a trade that ever impacted the league as big as this. And I'm like, what? LeBron to Miami, but that was on his own accord. Like you knew he was leaving. It wasn't a blindside hit like this out of nowhere. AD to the Lakers. But again, LeBron had been tampering. They've been leaking tweets up until the point that he got traded. You knew it was happening. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, AD to the Lakers, even though it brought them a ring, doesn't have the same gravity that this Luka trade does. I don't know, but Nico Harrison, you're looking like public enemy number 1, bro. That guy better be traveling with security. A lot of people are saying, and I kind of agree, if the Dallas Mavericks are to win a championship right now, yo, the fans might still be miserable. It kind of makes you wonder, you think Jimmy Butler might go to Dallas now? I mean, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Gafford, and Jimmy, not a bad starting lineup. Think it could work. And this all goes back to that Christmas Day game when Luka strained his calf. A lot of people are saying in the organization that the morale was down from then on because it was a preventable injury. And they're saying that that is directly correlated to his weight gain. He ignored the doctors. He ignored the nutritionists. They told him, get the weight down. Even if you look at Luka when he came into the league compared to now. And of course, everybody puts on size, but this is not good size that he put on. Definitely some Zion-esque type of weight that he put on. It's not weight that helped him in his game at all. So of course, everybody's upset because they're seeing this guy has the keys to the organization and look what he's doing with it. But he's young, right? He's young and he has everything. Of course, he's going to be a little irresponsible. The Dallas Mavericks, again, were in the finals last year. So I really do think you got to give him a little more time. You know, maybe get some vets around him. I don't know, but give it a little more time, bro. This guy was producing at the highest level. You can't ask more than what Luka was producing when it comes to a superstar in the NBA. I'm like, yo, does Rob Pelinka have some intel, some insider information on Nico Harrison? The NBA's ratings were tanking, and deals like this do put eyes on the league, so I guess it's kind of a good thing in the grand scheme, but it's a terrible thing for Dallas, and I don't know how this team recovers. But anyways, what do y'all think? Did the Mavericks make a terrible decision? Yes, I know they did. Like, comment, and please subscribe. And until next time.